Hello, Carol.
Better unmute me.
Yes, you
Hi
are
there.
muted. Fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I have Dan on the phone and Carolyn, and they're we're catching up on. They've been gone all day, and so catching up with what we accomplished.
Okay, good.
And
Do they have any questions?
Do you have any questions?
Night quickly about Chris Williams, that update. Sorry that we missed that.
The Chris Williams update.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I talked to him today. So he called me when I was en route to meet with a doctor at a med spa. And he was telling me all sorts of things about how the incredible, the results that he had in less than a month. So he is going to come on the next couple of days and he is going to do an actual testimonial. So he's going to let me know tonight if he's going to do tomorrow at 2 or 7 or Friday at 2 or Saturday. So he's going to do it this week, though, he said. And his voice is still a little crackly because his vocal cords aren't completely done yet, but he's pain-free. His age spots went away. He doesn't have any mouth sores. He's able to talk quickly, which he wasn't before, and he could only talk for no more than 10 minutes at a time. He would get very fatigued and it was very painful for him to talk. He doesn't have that anymore. That's all gone. So he shared a bunch of other things, but I want to leave that as a surprise so he can reveal that when he does his testimonial. It was
really looking forward to it. So right now I'm looking through Carolyn's emails, looking for the link for your Zoom. We just watched the Zoom the webinar on everything. So
okay.
Now he's trying to find the Zoom.
Yeah.
So I'll hold the phone up if she wants to talk and go start us off. Is that okay, Dan?
Yeah.
That's okay. Or I could
you just listen for a few minutes. She'll get started and we'll take it from there.
Yeah. And he can, if Dan would like, he could always call in at the 213 phone number. I can send that to you if he wants to call that 213 number. I will put it.
I mean, I know that it's here. Going through her.
Yeah, I put it in the chat, and I'm going to put the Zoom link in case anybody wants to share this Zoom link with anyone else. You can also do that. Let's see if I can find here. So you have both the phone number at the beginning. I'm sending that to everyone here in the chat. And you also see the Zoom link. So if you want to click on the Zoom link, if you want to do that on your laptop, iPad, etc., you're able to do that. Okay. So, okay. So does Dan have any other questions other than when Chris is going to do his testimonial?
I don't necessarily have a lot of questions, but like this afternoon, I took Carolyn to occupational therapy, speech therapy, and physical therapy.
We went to occupational therapy. Okay.
Yeah, and physical therapy was the last that was, like all three right in a row. And she was able to do basically more exercises with more weight and not crash at the end of it than I've seen her do forever.
Yeah.
So there's
patches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
That is wonderful, Dan. That's awesome. So you're able to do occupational therapy with more progress and without being wiped out at the end of the session. And I have an idea. I personally have never had to have occupational therapy, but my son, when he was 11 years old and he almost died of Guillain-Barré, after 11 weeks of being in pediatric intensive care, we brought him home. He had to do aquatic therapy. He had to do occupational therapy and physical therapy. And I remember how exhausting that was for him. And he was 11 and he was just wiped out every time he would have a session. So I can't imagine, if we had had the patches, that would have been an enormous help. So I'm really glad that you're able to have that, Dan.
I think that is making a difference, even though, Carolyn might not, see that there's a lot of wowie-zowie stuff going on. I can see that her clarity and her energy level and robustness are improving noticeably.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. So you see that improvement in Carolyn Bradley, not Carol Moulton. So that's wonderful, Dan. So thanks for letting us know that you see that her clarity and she's progressing. She's actually having, it sounds like every day she's
I
progressing.
actually see a lot of changes in Carol Moulton too.
Awesome.
I've gotten my mouthiness back.
Yeah, she's working.
That's good. You're quick, so very good. Fantastic. Okay. Well,
You found the link.
what was that? I didn't hear that.
He found the link. Looks like he found the link.
Oh, okay, he found the link. Okay, yeah, so you can join us on the Zoom call, or you can call in. There's that 213 number you can call in on. Either way, it's all available. So I will share, I'm going to share the bullet points here. Give me a quick second so that I can, oops. Okay. Let's see. I can. I'm going to share the beginning also. Okay, how am I going to do this? Oh my goodness. Trying to get over here and I'm having trouble getting this to move over. Close this. All righty. So wait a minute. What was that? End meeting. Nope. Don't want that. I don't know why that's popping up. Do I have? Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Our notes are right here. All righty. So here we go. And now I can share this with you. Real briefly, I'll just share you this graphic and then go on to, here we go. Quick screen. And now we can move on to this screen. All right, so we're going to start off with our disclaimer. It's about to pop and load. Okay, here we go. Now we are officially loaded. And of course, welcome to our stem cell activation patch info question and answer session. These are photobiomodulation patches that apply traditional Chinese medicine acupuncture points, and they are organic, non-invasive. They are non-transdermal, so nothing is being put into your skin. Non-transdermal means nothing passes your skin barrier that's being into your body. There we go. And so we're going to talk first about our disclaimer. The patches are not intended to treat, prevent, or cure any disease. We do not heal, cure, treat, or diagnose, nor do we offer any protocols. The suggestions do not replace the diagnosis and treatment by a qualified licensed healthcare professional. That would be your doctor. And we strongly recommend you consult with your doctor concerning your specific health challenge and treatment needed. No medical claims are being made with the suggestions here. All right. With that being said, now that we get the formalities out of the way, cross our T's, dot our I's, we are going to move on to the benefits and what the stem cell activation patches are, how they work, what stem cells are, what they are not, and so forth. So first thing to know about stem cells is that they're pluripotent. And I always like to start off at the beginning when your mother's ovum united with your father's sperm. And at conception, we now had complete information to the tune of 23,688 stem cells, which have all your original programming, your original blueprint to form you in your mother's womb. And at conception, immediately, those stem cells went to work to form you into a little embryo. Fast forward 68 weeks later, we could actually witness your heartbeat. Anywhere from 130 to 150 beats per minute that we could see through an ultrasound or through a Doppler. And you fast forward to 36 to 40 weeks. Now you have a fully formed fetus. And you blink, and now that is a newborn baby. And as we move forward and we fast forward to 30 years of age, when you're 30 years of age, you have 50% of your stem cells that actually turn off. And if you fast forward the video of your life and you get to 60 years of age, now you have 90% of your stem cells that turn off, leaving only 10% or less for the remainder of your life to repair, restore, regenerate, whatever it is in your body. So now you have 10% of your tired stem cells that have to do the job that used to be the job of 100% of those stem cells. Think of your stem cells as little, builder, like Bob the Builder, remodeling agents that whenever they see a damaged cell, they're like, oh, damaged cell in the heart. We got to run over there. We got to replace that damaged cell with a new heart cell. Oh, damaged cell in that eye. We got to replace that with a new eye cell. Oop, damaged cell there in the brain. We got to replace that cell in the brain. Oop, there's a nerve up there, a neuron in the brain. Connection's not being made. We got to replace that, And so that's the job of your stem cells. And stem cells are pluripotent. So what's pluripotent? Plural. That means many as opposed to singular. Potent, potential. So it has many potentials. Every single one of those 23,688 stem cells have all the potentials to create any and all things throughout your body. It's encoded with everything that you need from conception till you go to the grave. And when we build a house, naturally, we don't start building a house with the roof. That would be kind of crazy, because how would you make that roof? It would have to be floating in the air. That's not going to happen. So you don't start with the roof. You don't start with the walls. We always start with the foundation. So we're always going to start with the mother stem cell activation patch. That's the foundation of your house. And so we are going to talk about what the stem cell activation, the mother stem cell activation patch is, and how do these patches even work? So how do they work? So if you touch your body, any body that is alive, we have 98.7 degrees Fahrenheit temperature. So if you were to take your temperature, we would witness and evidence 98.7 degrees, 98.6. Some people run a little hotter, some people a little cooler, but basically about 98.7 degrees Fahrenheit. And that temperature is evidence of the infrared light that's inside of our bodies. Because if I were to wear night vision goggles and I were to look at you at night, like here, it's starting to become nighttime, or it's sunset right now, and I were to look at you with night vision goggles, I would see you glowing in the dark. And if you look here through this spectrograph, we could actually see this hand was scanned, and you could see the infrared light, the electricity, which is infrared light that's inside of your body. And that electricity is from the electrons and the electrolytes through your bloodstream. And you could see the energy inside of the hand, as well as it emitting, glowing outside of, it's like outside of your skin. It actually goes outside and even have currents of electricity, as you can see here, 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 and a few other spots around the thumb. So that infrared light, your body is the battery that powers the stem cell activation patch. So how is that possible? So if you were to take a flashlight and you were to flash a diamond, you would notice that that diamond crystal would reflect back that light to your eyes. All the prism colors of the rainbow are reflected back to your natural eye, right? Well, when we put the stem cell activation patch on your skin, the moment those organic crystals that are mimicking a diamond crystal, it's a blend of organic sugar crystals, salt crystals, hydrogen, oxygen, water, and a proprietary blend of organic amino acids. They're arranged in a very specific geometrical pattern, and they're set to a specific frequency to give the resulting effects of the mother stem cell activation patch. The moment it touches your skin, it activates GHKCU copper peptide in your blood, in your skin, and it activates also the P63 protein, provided that you're hydrated properly, then this rapid repair starts taking place. And you will see that it then begins to repair cellular damage, restores collagen. Collagen is the #1 building block protein of the body, of course. It rebuilds scar tissue. It reduces fine lines and wrinkles. It increases your energy, increases sexual libido, increases antioxidants, anti-aging, anti-inflammation, increases pain relief, 50 to 100% anywhere between 3 to 4 minutes after applying the patches. Many people experience this pain relief. You have improved hair growth and improved deeper, sounder sleep. That is just the mother stem cell activation patch, which is going to be the foundation of your body, which is your home. Your body is a temporary housing unit for the soul, the energy, the personality that is you. Does that make sense? And we do have a Veritas Concilium, which is Veritas is true, Concilium is a plan of action. So a Veritas Concilium is like a regimen. What your doctors have protocols, we have true plans of action. Using traditional Chinese medicine acupuncture points to magnify the effects of the patches on the body. So now let's share with you here Dr. John Harmon, who, when he came to us 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, he had a right bundle branch blockage in his heart, which 3 cardiologists confirmed was inoperable. They confirmed that his lifespan would be shortened because of it. He would be on heart meds for the rest of his life. And he said, there has to be something out there that can help me repair, restore, and regenerate my heart. This is not a good option for me. He's like, I refuse to accept this as my fate, as my destiny, as things will get just infinitely worse as I am in this moment in time. He decided he was going to look, find, seek something that would help him. And that's when the stem cell activation patches came into his experience. And lo and behold, 14 months later, his right bundle branch blockage, confirmed by 3 cardiologists, disappeared. And over the course of that year, in a few months, his hair color, there are all sorts of other reparations that were made in his body, not just his pump, not just his heart. Yes, his heart was repaired and restored. Cardiovascular system, all things related to his heart, his muscle, his cardiovascular system was repaired and restored. But you can see here on the left, he was gray at the time. He did not dye his hair brown. His brown hair color started to come back as part of the rejuvenation, as part of the age reversal process. As the damaged cells were replaced, he got some of his natural hair color back. You'll also see that his skin texture, a lot of the wrinkles that he had before are no longer present on him. He used to have these, he had like 111 on his forehead here, and he has lines both going vertically as well as horizontally. You can pretty much see that this is gone now. You can see that the inflammation around his eyes gone now too. Now his eyes are normal, regular, the way they're supposed to be, right? A lot of the deeper grooves in his face are also gone now. And he now just has a little, he still has a little, I'll be curious to see. I'll get to see him next month in October at the North American Stem Cell Conference in Orlando, Florida. So I'm looking forward to seeing, I saw him in April in Aruba because we were both in the top 100 for stem cell activation patch specialist in the North American globe. So I got to see him and his wife, Carla. I'm curious to see what difference I'll see between April of 2023 this year and October, which is just a few weeks away. So this is Dr. John Harmon. If you're interested in watching his entire testimonial, it is on my YouTube channel. You can go to damelillianwalker.com. I'll put that here in the comments in the chat here. Let's see, is this working right now? Yeah. So you can go to damelillianwalker.com. That goes to my Love and Honey Secrets TV YouTube channel, and you'll see Dr. John's testimonial there. It's a great testimonial. In fact, the first 30 minutes, Sunday shares her father's stage 4 lymphoma cancer update. It was 5 weeks that he had been on the patches. There's a great surprise there as to his results as well. Okay, so moving on. We also have Scott and Patrick Tatone. We see that their hair has grown back. We see how much higher hairline, and now the hairline goes much farther down. He's got fuller, darker hair, and the same thing for Patrick. So both Scott and Patrick are benefactors of increased hair growth. And your stem cells, I like to give equivalence of, your stem cells are to your body what your ink printer cartridges are to your printer. So you have color, you have black and white ink cartridges, and when they're brand new, you can barely tell the difference between the copy and the original. However, once you've used up 50 to 90% of your ink, you only have 10% left, then you see that the copies are faded versions of the original. It's a very big difference, the faded version versus the original, no question about it. You can tell them very easily apart. And black and white copies oftentimes become gray and white or pink and white copies. They get light enough. So now we're going to go on. Now that we've talked about the foundational mother stem cell activation patch, we're going to talk about the daughter stem cell activation patch. That's X49. This patch does something entirely different. This is like the bearing wall of your house. This patch protects you against radiation poisoning relief. The mother stem cell activation patch signaled GHKCU copper peptide in your bloodstream and turned on the P63 protein. This one activates AHKCU copper peptide, and it increases your lean muscle mass, your bone density, increases your energy, your focus, your cardiovascular function. It is going to protect you against electromagnetic frequencies from 5G, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi radiation, routers, modems, TSA scanners, blue LED lights, which you have throughout your home, place of work, in your car. Just think of your kitchen. Your kitchen has LED lights on the refrigerator, on the microwave, on the stove, on the dishwasher, your bathroom, anywhere where you have LED lights, halogen lights, fluorescent lights, that causes blue light toxicity. Many people are not aware of how detrimental, how damaging it is to our bodies to have blue light toxicity that is coming from all of those light sources, not to mention your laptop, your cell phone, your iPad, your notebook, your Kindle, any TV screens that you might have in your house. It causes insulin resistance, believe it or not. It also causes mitochondrial dysregulation, which is inflammation inside of your body. Within a cell, we have a little organelle called mitochondria. It's what's responsible for processing your energy. And when you have inflammation, you have a dysregulation intracellularly, which is the genesis. It's the beginning of disease in the body and pain and misery in many, many instances. So this is going to offset that. This patch is very powerful, and it will use whatever belly fat you have. If you have belly fat, it will use that as an immediate source of energy to do this rapid repair. And last but not least, if you have osteoporosis, your osteoporosis will disappear because this patch is increasing your bone density, as I mentioned before. So that is the daughter stem cell activation patch. As you can see, it does something entirely different from the mother stem cell activation patch. The reason why this is called X39 was there were 39 iterations of this patch before it finally was made available to the public just 4 years ago in 2019. And then 2 years ago, there were 49 iterations of this patch before it was made available. It was 2 years ago in May that this became available. Lucky us. So here is Kathy, who 63 years old, January 22, started on the patches. Of course, she wanted to get rid of her wrinkles. However, her primary motivation was she had 33 years of suffering from autoimmune disorder from 3 breast implants that had leaked out into her body, had caused an array of problems for her. And so she got started on the patches, and we told her take pictures every 30 days so you can document your progress, which she did, luckily. And so this is her January picture. This was last October when she posted this on my Facebook wall, and then I shared it with other people, and then I took a screenshot and to use in this particular presentation. And you can see very clearly that in January, she had very marked wrinkles throughout her skin, her neck, her chest. She would not show her face at the time. So this wasn't until I got her to do a testimonial for me on Zoom that she finally was willing to share the picture. She's beautiful, as you can see. So you can see January, March, June, July, she has no wrinkles. And it's quite extraordinary that in 7 months, if that kind of repair is going on the outside of your body, you can only imagine the repair that's going on inside your body. And so she was free of pain, free of all sorts of things that were plaguing her prior to that. To say that she was excited was an understatement. And so this is, I know she looks like she's 35, 40, but she's actually 64 years old as of this January. She's been on the patches for 1.5 years now, and she is actually 64 years old and lives in Nevada. She's a professional skydiver. This next person that I'm going to share with you, this was the very first person that I patched who had long haulers, COVID, miserable experience, would wake up every day with a headache, nausea, low stamina, had horrible insomnia, and he had zero stamina. He felt like a truck had run him over. And Barry, when we started him on the patches, it was June 23rd, and he started on the Fantastic Five. And the very next day, he texted me and he said, "Hey, Lillian, just a note. Don't know if it's a placebo or the stem cell patches work that quick or what, but I had really good sleep, a little better sleep than other nights. I fell asleep quicker. Today, I'm just on a high. I'm ecstatic, and Gwen sees that in me, and I feel really, really good physically when I awoke. This morning, no headache, no nausea. Yeah, it's just been a phenomenal day. So thank you, and I'll update you as we go along. Hope all is well. Thanks. Bye." So that was very exciting. Since then, I've patched many, many other people with long haulers, people who tested positive, who were asymptomatic, but many of them were having high fevers, chills, body aches, low stamina or no stamina at all. We're feeling horrible. And the quickest person that I had that responded was 2 hours and 18 minutes. That was Al, who had a very high fever, body aches, chills. Like I said, the typical, symptoms. And 2 hours and 18 minutes, he had zero symptoms. He's the fastest that I'm aware of, because he contacted me 2 hours and 18 minutes later. And he said, "I have no symptoms anymore." Everybody else with the following day, they've contacted me saying, "Oh my gosh, I feel so much better. All my symptoms are gone." But that was 24 hours later. That's pretty darn good if you ask me. Wouldn't you agree? So let's go on to, I want to answer this question because some people have asked David Schmidt if X39 activates your old or it grows new stem cells. And this is what David Schmidt answered in a particular product webinar. And so I just literally wrote it down verbatim as I heard it. And he said both. Copper peptide is going to increase the expression of the P63 protein, which activates the stem cells so they can proliferate, mobilize, and get to your injury. The copper peptide will convert the stem cells in your skin over to pluripotent stem cells. This increases the pool of natural stem cells in your body and supports the natural process of healing injury. So now let's go on to the next 3 patches. We already talked about the first 2. And now we are going to, oops, I just tapped my microphone here. The next 3 are glutathione, carnosine, and eon. This is basically, your foundation, your bearing wall, and you're basically with the next 3 are the 3 walls that are going to support your home. So let's talk about those 3. And here we have glutathione, carnosine, and eon. In short order, glutathione is the master antioxidant detoxifier. It's your immune booster. Boosts your immune system. Within 24 hours of you applying this patch, it boosts your immune system 300% to as high as 600%, all depending on what your original blueprint calls for. If your blueprint calls for 555 increase in glutathione based on your original playbook, it's going to bring it up to 555. If it's 300 for you, so it's all unique to you. Okay, it can't be too much, not enough, it'll be just right. Just the mother stem cell activation patch will increase your glutathione level by 30%, which is very helpful. But once you wear the glutathione patch, next level game. And glutathione, the thing to know about glutathione is that it is, in fact, in every organ of the body and every muscle of the body. Your brain signals your liver to produce glutathione, and then your liver sends it throughout your bloodstream to cover all the organs and every muscle in the body. Very important for health and well-being, important for brain cognition, important for neural activity, important with, for eyesight and for pain management. This patch is an antiviral because it boosts your immune system, but it also is a radioprotector against DNA damage. So we've got a quote here from a research paper on our glutathione patch, which I thought was fabulous. So I always include it here. And it says here, pay attention to the organs that this affects, because if you have an organ that has an issue, this is telling you that this patch will help that particular organ. Again, we don't make any medical claims. We are not about healing any particular or curing any particular disease, condition, syndrome, etc. These are FDA compliant class 1 medical devices under the general wellness category. These patches work systemically on systems of the body. So the glutathione patches worn 12 hours daily over a period of 4 weeks produced a highly significant improvement in physiologic functional status of the pancreas, liver, gallbladder, intestines, left and right adrenals, hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and a very significant improvement in pancreas with a statistical power of at least 72%. So stated differently, all organs achieved significant cellular physiologic functional status improvement compared to baseline with a statistical power of at least 91%. The name of that research paper, which you can find at startx39now.com, is called Nanoscale Glutathione Patches Improved Organ Function. All righty. Let's talk about carnosine. That's going to be the 4th. We got 3, and now the 4th of our fantastic 5. That's carnosine patch here. The carnosine patch, carnosine, carne, the root word in Latin means flesh, as in meat, like carne asada tacos. So this master antioxidant, fantastic, because it supports and improves your cardiovascular system, all things related to heart and muscle. It improves your healthy brain function, your memory, your focus, and brain processing time. It's going to increase your strength, your stamina, endurance, aids wound repair. And as always, it's so important to drink 50% your weight in fluid ounces of water for the reasons that I mentioned at the beginning. When you are dehydrated or unhydrated, your proteins fold. And as you recall from the X39 patch, when that patch touches your skin, it activates GHKCU copper peptide in your blood, and it activates the P63 protein. If you are dehydrated or unhydrated, that protein's going to be folded. It's not going to work. So you have to drink 50% your weight in fluid ounces of water from the time you get up in the morning until you go to sleep at night. Okay? So the last patch, one of my favorite patches, it's hard to pick a favorite patch because they're all so fantastic. But the Eon patch, I love this patch because of the Fantastic 5. This is your master anti-inflammatory patch. Everyone has inflammation, one shape, form, or the other. This is our anti-stress, also known as our happy patch. It raises anti-neoplastins, and it increases the DHEA fountain of youth hormone in the body. This is the patch that does the brain balancing of your left and your right brain hemisphere. So as you are out of balance, before you start on the patches, you start patching, and now your brain gets into balance and you get into homeostasis. And what happens is that this creates not just a happy feeling where you feel happy. Some people say euphoric, but you're calm because it reduces your cortisol levels and your C-reactive proteins. If you are in a work or home environment where you have a lot of frustration, you have a lot of demands, you have a lot of requirements, a lot of fixing, a lot of pushing against, a lot of stress, guess what? This patch is going to make you feel happy and balanced and calm because your C-reactive proteins and your cortisol levels are going to be managed and regulated. Feels so good. So very important patch. So many of you don't know what anti-neoplastins are, so I'm going to express and share with you. I just cut this out of one of the research papers because it's a great explanation of what anti-neoplastins are. And these are just simply said, they're peptides that are found in the urine and blood of normal, healthy people. They might stimulate the immune system, and these peptides might in fact kill certain cancer cells or prevent them from proliferating and growing. They are used in a clinical setting for high cholesterol, brain swelling due to any kind of infection, whether meningitis, encephalitis, HIV, AIDS, Parkinson, or any other condition. And in a clinical setting, that would be administered to you through IVIG, which is intravenous immunoglobulin therapy. Okay. And so actinioplasms are part of your original blueprint. That's something that at conception you had, and it protected you until it didn't anymore, right? Okay. So, oh, by the way, are you aware of the fact that blue light, those LED lights that you have in your house, the screen on your cell phone, your computer, your laptop, your iPad, etc., are you aware that those blue lights, those LED lights that are in your car, in your place of work, at the supermarket, at any commercial store that you're at, from halogen lights, fluorescent lights, LED lights, that destroys DHEA in your body, as well as also creates insulin resistance. Imagine that. But now you have something to offset that. So that's it. I'm going to end here. We do have some other patches, but I want to make sure that we answer any questions. Dan, Carol, do you have any questions about the patches that I have reviewed up until this point? Oh, we got to unmute.
There we go. So one question that I did have was what would be most effective in juicing up the ligaments, especially like cervical ligaments?
Okay, so your question is, what would serve in juicing up the ligaments of the body?
Yeah, especially like cervical ligaments, since that's one of the issues that a couple of people I know really well are dealing with, with that upper cervical instability due to head and neck trauma.
Okay, and that's a very, very common. That and lower back are very, very common. So again, I would say that the thing to juice it up would be to apply the patches, the Fantastic Five, on the neck bump. Basically, the neck bump is at the base. I've got an image here that I can share with you. This,
yeah, I got it. It's like the first thoracic vertebrae.
Exactly. So at the bottom of your neck, the top of your spine, you have that neck bump. Then you have you link the patches together and you put them all along. It's basically along your spine, starting at that neck bump going down. And that is going to juice up the tendons, the ligaments, the muscle, the bone, the marrow, everything inside there is going to have that regenerative effect. I always say, wherever you have pain, point to the pain and patch it. So I had a firefighter who's in Denver, and he had a clicking knee from an injury from being on the job. And in the first 24 hours of him taking his patches and just putting them on his knee, he just circumvented his knee. In the first 24 hours, the clicking went away and the pain went away. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be the case for every single person, but it's not uncommon. I had a nurse who is in Arkansas, and she had right hip replacement surgery like 10 years before. And now they were telling her she was going to have her left hip replaced, and she really did not want to do that. So I told her to take the patches and apply them on her hip, point to the pain. I didn't know if the pain was like in the front, the side, or behind, but I said, just point to your pain, and you're going to wrap that area with the patches. You're going to have them in a row. You could either put them in a row, or you could put them in a circle around the area of pain, in the front, the side, behind your hip, wherever it is you feel the pain. So she chose to take them in a row and just put them laterally across the front of her hip. And she said the next morning when she woke up and get up, not only her strength, her flexibility and mobility increased for the first time in 10 years. In just 24 hours, she was able to get into a squatting position, and she had the flexibility and the strength to get up from a squatting position. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have hip replacement anymore because these patches are repairing my hip. And that was just 24 hours. I was surprised as just as you are. I'm like, wow, that's incredible to me, especially the strength and the flexibility, that she would have the flexibility to get in the squatting position and then the strength to get up from there. I'm like, that's amazing to me. So that was possible for her. I'm not saying that will be the results for everybody else, but it is possible. It is possible for her, so it's possible for others too.
Yeah. So Carolyn is, out of the frame right now, but she's been listening to everything, and we actually listened to the webinar for new people and whatnot that was on at 6.
Excellent.
But because she has often had some sensitivity to adhesives of all kinds, even ones that, you know, she shouldn't be sensitive to, she is.
Mhm.
Between doing, you know, the upper back and the sternum, and that's what she's doing. She's also putting her used ones on the bottoms of her feet, and of course she's cheating and putting some of the other used ones on the inside of her lower leg. She's
Yeah.
hard to train.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, and, you know, it can't hurt any, whatever juice is left, then you're putting your fresh patches on, as, you know, every day. And then the used ones under your feet, whatever's left there. And we know that there is some juice left to them only because people who have animals, that they put their used patches on their animals. A month or two later, we've had dogs who had cataracts who a month or two later, some of them in a month, some of them in 2, no longer have cataracts. So there is a little bit of juice left. So that's why I tell people, it's like, I used to tell them to throw it away, but now if you want to do what I do, if you have a pet, you can put it on the inside collar of your pet, so your pet benefits. Or like, I don't have a pet, my pet passed away and I just haven't had the heart to replace her. So I just put my used patches under the bottom of my feet.
Gotcha. Yeah, we have a new cat. He's just full of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. Do you have any other questions or any other comments, Dan?
Did you ask for this? Ask for that.
I've asked first, you know, still all about the, you know, switching off between sternum and upper back. And I know that you've said that basically that all works, and it seems to.
Good. Fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
So I think that is about it.
Yeah, I just wonder if there was any other place.
So yeah, she's just wondering if there's any other place, and
Yeah, there are other places. So like if she feels, because I know she has some cardiovascular issues kind of going on, so she could take, and instead of putting her X39, X49, et cetera, on her chest, she could put, if she has any issues with either her hip or her knee or an ankle or a foot, or like if she had, I don't know if she does, but I'm just saying as a supposition, if she had varicose veins on a left leg, for example, you could take the patches and put them there. They're going to affect the entire body, but they're just going to signal that area first, which is why I always say point to where you feel the pain and patch it.
So yeah, cardiovascular is actually really pretty good, and there, you know, were ultrasounds done of her carotid and other arteries, and they are like clean and clear and awesome. However, she has some gut and digestive issues that, you know, could be like from or whatever, but
so then
that's been going on for a while.
So then she could take those patches, all 5 of them or 4 of them, whatever number she has, just 2 finger widths below her belly button. She could put them in a row, because that conception vessel 6, that has to do with anything with conception, anything having to do with your reproductive organs and your digestive organs. And since you're telling me she has some sort of digestive issues, so I would just take them and put them under, like starting tomorrow morning, just put them under her belly button, 2 finger widths below her belly button, 3 finger widths below her belly button, just in a row straight down. If instinctively it feels, if her gut feeling is telling her to put them in a circle under her belly button, that works too. So she can put them in a row or in a circle below her belly button, and that works fine as well.
Gotcha. Thank you. I think that might be it. Anything else, Carolyn? Super. Thanks so much.
All righty. Well, fantastic. Well, if there are no other further questions, I will cut you guys loose for the rest of the evening. We will be back on tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern time, 2 and 7 p.m. as you know.
Gotcha.
And I will be here to answer any questions that you have and move forward with that. Take care, my friends and gems. You have a beautiful evening. Ciao for now.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. And I'll be posting this on YouTube, okay? Bye.
Bye.